Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Top 10. It's the last one for this month, the month of March, and we have a long weekend holiday coming up this week. So we'll be back next week, but let me just do this one more for this month. So before we get on our trending stocks and analyze them objectively, we should look at our index first. So we have here PSEI clearly breaking below the support level that I tried to consolidate at, but it didn't hold up and pushed right below. So we shall see if it wants to retest this 6300 mark and then hopefully bounce right off that. So create that double bottom kind of thing, or maybe create like a higher low right here. So we shall see what it wants to do, but for now, we did see a huge move on the downside with a negative 102 points for today, closing in at 6443.09 points. So that's a huge move on the downside, clearly having a lot of negative foreign buying for today. And yeah, we did see this candle pierce through and retouch the bottom of this, almost retouching this bottom right here of this huge candle. That was a push on the upside. So we shall see what it wants to do over next week, honestly, because today we did see quite a few stock rallying on the upside, especially with these huge changes on some of the stocks that were trending for today. So people were definitely there, and yeah, we do see them pushing it on the upside. So let's go to our first one with where we saw a positive 8% move today and closing in at 5.44. So finally it did push on the upside, crossing this resistance right here. So the candle closed the price hit the top of the candle, but we are not sure just yet if this is a confirmed reversal, because we haven't seen a daily candle finish right above this resistance zone just yet. It could immediately just go back down, but this is a great push on the upside, breaking this downward trend line, and we would see this potentially reversing, creating hopefully higher lows right here. So we are watching this resistance zone at 5.28 to hopefully and potentially hold up as we aim for these resistances. The next resistance is at 6.3 area. So we should watch and see what happens next week with this one, but definitely great move on the upside for So that's it. Breaking the downward trend line, great move on the upside, and breaking this resistance right here. So this could be a sign of reversal. Could potentially be retesting this resistance right here, the 6.3 resistance. That would be the next move for it to do. So great move for liking the movement on this one. And let's move on to our next one in Dito, closing in at 10.16, definitely still consolidating within here. And yeah, we didn't move too much today, just negative 0.39%, so that's quite small. The candle is literally almost flat on there. So yeah, it's still deciding where it wants to go, and it is definitely looking to retest this level of resistance that we have. But what happened? Level of resistance that we have right around here. So we have this support zone turned resistance now at 14.36. So there. We're looking at these resistances first. This zone, let me just change this. Hopefully it does close above this resistance zone that we have at 11.38. So if this does break above, hopefully it pierces through this resistance zone right here, just as did with this one. So we shall wait and see what Dito does, because this has a potential to still be breaking downwards instead of upwards given the conditions. But did well. Did move on the upside well, and we shall see what Dito does for himself. So let's look at our next one with land. Land just keeps pushing. So land is still pushing upwards, and if we look at our smaller time frame, the 1 hour time frame, it just, you know, settled around here a bit and kept running. There was definitely a 1 hour time frame support right here before it kept pushing again on the upside. So this is one of the scenarios where we do see it. Let's include this. Okay, so the resistance was there, definitely broke above that, the 14.1 point. So on the 4 hour, man, it literally just had a wick up here and the 1.48 levels. So it did not even want to retrace any of that, and it just wanted to keep rallying on the upside. So everyone's just looking at this and trading it. So yeah, we did have this resistance broken, pulled back around 50% of this huge 4 hour candle right here. So just pull back here in the 50% before rallying once again. So yep, this is kind of dangerous now, and we should be awaiting for its pullback some point. Let's see, because this is overstretched. Look at this, it went parabolic on us, just went too far, too high up without any meaningful pullback or build of support level. But this is good. Broke up on the uptrend, broke up on this, you know, resistance, broke out of there. Now we're just waiting for it to potentially build some support level somewhere here in the middle. So if this is going to be continuing its uptrend, it should be able to, you know, have a healthy pullback, hopefully somewhere here, because, you know, this is just an uptrend line that is going on right here, and soon enough hopefully it'll be going sideways right here and retesting this trend line right here. So we shall see what it wants to do, but getting in right now is pretty dangerous as it closed positive 34%. So there's gonna be a lot of people taking profit soon as it closes at 2.25 pesos per share. So very dangerous. I think I saw a similar chart with green. Let's just look at green. This was just similar, like kind of a similar chart with green, like this one. See, it just rallied, kept rallying on the upside after it broke horizontally this resistance, and then now it's just pulling back slowly and slowly. So with land, that's what I'm seeing right here. So it's kind of a similar trend that it's going, or trajectory that it's going. So we shall wait and see what it does and what it wants to do. But for now, just be careful with this one, as it is due for a pullback. So yeah, this is very dangerous for sure. There's gonna be people realizing that it is overextended and take profit as soon as they can. So let's see. For PHA, what do we have for PHA? It closed at 2.06, or a little bit of percent up, and it's still in this consolidation area with a bias on the sellers. So it did not make any strong move on the upside just yet. So we have a descending triangle here, and this could end up on a break on the downside, but we shall see. We shall wait and see. And that's it. That's all I could say for PHA. This downward trend line still holding, and I think it's the same situation with MRC, as it got rejected. Oh yeah, so this one made a move on the upside, touched the resistance, but we see this massive move on the downside. So this rejection, actually, man, this is a huge rejection that we see here on the resistance. Same with So as I've mentioned with it definitely pierced through that resistance, but we haven't seen the candle close above that resistance. So with MRC, it did pierce it a little bit with a wick. We did see it open right around here, above here at 42, but it ended up pulling back into this range. So it's not ready yet for a breakout, but we are definitely watching this stock for now. So yeah, we're just waiting for it to completely break above and then close right here and settle right around this zone. So it's not ready yet, and it definitely pulled back into the range. So we're watching the support zone to hold or potentially create like an upward trend line right here as it decides to, push really soon on the upside. So we shall wait and see what will happen to MRC. So let's look at LRW for our next stock, and this has just been on this huge range right here. We can move this right here for now and look at here. So this is the 1.4 to 1.6 levels, 1.4 to 1.6 levels that we're gonna call our support area right here, as we see this resistance still holding up. And now we do see a massive rejection on the side as well, on the upside, from the upside. So the resistance still intact, but we are seeing this higher low right here. So LRW definitely creating an ascending triangle with this trend line right here, but it could retest this zone if it wants to. So it's still a bigger range, resistance still intact at 2.25 as it closed at 2.01, and even with a positive 3.6%. So it had a high of 2.25. It did attempt to break the resistance, but it didn't and broke back in. It's not ready yet, but once it touches here a few more times, it could potentially break above here. So we shall wait and see what it does. Ascending triangle, good sign for a trend continuation pattern, and we're just waiting for it to potentially break out on us. So let's be patient for LRW, and let's move to BSC with a settle on this support zone. So it's still on its support area. It's holding it so far as it pulled back right in there, right on target at this range. So it didn't move too much, but we see a lot of rejection on the upside. We could potentially see a creation of higher low, maybe a retest of this trend line. Like if it breaks below and then bounces, that's still a good trend continuation or reversal for this one, as it see it break above strong movement right here, ending this downward trend line. So we could see a retest of this zone, or it could retest this trend line again before bouncing up and creating higher lows right here, right around this trend line. So we shall see what it does, but definitely maintaining this support zone for now for for BSC. So up next, let's look at APL. APL is trying to break above this resistance at 19.60, but it hasn't, and it's, curving downwards a little bit. So it might want to retest our support level right here at around 1650 to 1750. So if we're gonna look at that and make this our support zone, so let's make it 1650 to around 1750. So 0.1750, 0.1650 is a great support zone for it to range before potentially breaking up on the upside. So kind of similar move with but this one did not have a powerful move on the upside just yet. So we shall wait and see, wait patiently on this one as it, retest this downward trend line that we have right here that has been going on since February. So we shall wait and see, wait patiently for that, and have these zones in mind for now. So let's look at PHES. What is this one? It's a new one, Phil Estates Corporation. First time on the daily top 10 show, and we do see a rejection on the upside right here. So we do see it getting rejected on our resistance, but we have this zone right here that we could be looking at for it to build a level of support. So if we look at the lower time frame, yep, there was a pin, a rejection right here, moved on the upside huge, and then now we could be looking at this area on a short-term basis to hold for it to build a level of support at 0.6. So that's a good level of support on the 1 hour time frame, but the 4 hour time frame might be a bigger one or a better one to look at right around this, the 0.5 to 0.53. Is it the 0.53? Yeah, so 0.5 to 0.5 to 0.53. For me, this is a better support zone for it to build a support area right here on the daily time frame wick. But if you're a short-term trader, if it does build some level of support right here on this 1H time frame support, let me label that 1H time frame support. So for you guys, if you want to take your chances on this 1H time frame support, so be it, but that's definitely a weaker support area than this, than the 4 hour time frame, as we see it getting rejected on the upside. So be careful on this one, and maybe potentially just look at these support areas right here at 0.5 to 0.53 to to have it pull back and potentially continue its move on the upside and potentially break this resistance right here. But if the 1H time frame holds up, this support holds up, that is good news. Healthy movement would be a bounce from here for it to continue its journey on the upside. But huge movements like these tend to have a big pullback as well, because we've been seeing it rally since last week, and this is just like a parabolic move right here. So this is definitely gonna have a huge pullback. Watch out for this zone at 0.5 to 0.53 to potentially hold up and hold it for its next rally. But for now, I'm definitely expecting some pullback right here, as we see a huge wick rejection right here today. So gotta be careful with this one, as it happened right here, and we do see a massive pullback before it stopped bleeding once again. So we see for the second time it would want to touch it once again sometime in the future, but for now, definitely a pullback for PHES. So let's look at our index once again. With this huge move on the downside, I will advise to be more careful with our trades and potentially not hold them for too long, as our index just started slipping once again. So some of these moves, like for could just be a temporal one, or what was that, land. I think the move on land is a huge move, but this is also prone to huge pullbacks and maybe some level of manipulation right there. But yeah, everyone's trading this, so it's kind of dangerous to get on it right here on the top right now, and might get stuck there as it wants to actually pull back. Yeah, just be careful, because PSE slipped huge today, minus 100 points, and it's a long weekend. Not just a weekend, but yeah, we don't have trading tomorrow, I believe, Thursday, Friday, and then we'll be back Monday instead. So we shall be patient on this one, because this could just be a continuation of its move and trajectory on the downside. So we shall be patient, folks. So yeah, that's it for me for today. And if you pick up something useful for your strategy, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing down below. It takes a while to do that, and I'll see you guys next week. Enjoy the holiday, enjoy the time off, just to relax and reset from everything that has been going on in our country right now. So yeah, take this time off. Don't think about trading, and as always, stay patient, strive to be consistent, and absolutely stay disciplined with your trades. So that's it for me for today, and I'll see you guys next week.